Hi everyone, thanks again for joining me on my channel where I am talking about my challenge around the world in 100 books. I am reading books from around the world and sharing some fun facts and the book reviews along the way. So this week we're going to be talking about Guinea-Bissau. It is a country on the west coast of Africa in the north. As always, I'm going to start with ways that I related to the country, then go into a brief history, do a book review, and finalize it with some fun facts. So let's get started. So Guinea-Bissau, I found 3 ways that I related. Number 1 would be that Guinea-Bissau is one of the places in Africa that still has ancestral altars, and this connects them with their ancestors, and I just thought this was really beautiful and reminded me of the tradition that we have as Mexicans of Day of the Dead, where we just speak to our ancestors, and they are still a very large part of our culture and heritage. And number 2 would be that they do a lot of ceremonies featuring dance and songs, and that's deeply integrated into their culture, just like Mexicans who love to sing and dance. Number 3 would be that they use gris-gris amulets. So it reminded me of what I talked about in Bhutan. So Hispanic families will put a red bracelet around their mostly around their wrist, but sometimes also on a baby's ankle to protect them from the evil eye. Likewise, in Guinea-Bissau, they put a bracelet around a baby to protect from negative energies. And differently to Mexican culture, Guinea-Bissau's amulets are of different colors and different materials. So onto the history. Like I said, it is a country situated on the northwest of Africa. Its population is about 2 million people, and we're going to start in the 15th century. So in the 15th century, the region was inhabited by diverse ethnic groups, including the Balantas, the Fulanis, and the Banjacos. Colonialism reshaped the landscape when the Portuguese arrived, also in the later in the late 15th centuries, establishing colonial colonies focused on the transatlantic slave trade. So fast forwarding to 1879, Guinea-Bissau officially became a Portuguese colony known as Portuguese Guinea at the time. So Guinea actually means west, and that's why you have Guinea, Papua New Guinea, and Guinea-Bissau. And this country was later known as Guinea-Bissau, and it took it on to distinguish itself from the other Guineas. Bissau is now the capital of Guinea-Bissau. In 1956, spearheaded by Amilcar Cabral, who I read, the African Party for the Independence of Guinea and Cape Verde, known as the PAIGC, was founded by him, and this is who I read about. So after then, a prolonged armed conflict occurred between the Portuguese and Guinea-Bissau, and this ended on September 24th of 1973, when Guinea-Bissau was able to declare its independence from Portugal. The post-independence era, however, was marked with political turbulence, exemplified by over 9 coups d'etat, underscoring the nation's tumultuous journey towards stability. The current president since 2020 is Umaro Sissoko Embalo. He initially aligned with the socialist PAIGC party, which I noted was founded by Amilcar Cabral, but he later branched out, and when he ran for his campaign, he was part of the Movement for Democratic Alternation, which was established in 2018, so 2 years before he became the president. Today, it is still a very poor country. It is a country that, obviously went through a lot in order to gain its independence, and it is currently one of the biggest issues in the country is that it is being used very frequently as a harbor for drug trafficking. So a lot of Latin American drug traffickers will use on their way to Europe will stop in Guinea-Bissau. Therefore, that has created a big epidemic for cocaine use in its population. So, onto the book review, I read Return to the Source, Selected Text by Amilcar Cabral. Obviously, this is edited by someone. So, it is a composition. So, first about the man. So, his full name is Amilcar Lopez de Costa Cabral, and he was a Guinea-Bissauan and Cape Verdean agricultural engineer, political organizer, and diplomat. He was one of the foremost anti-colonial leaders in Africa, and he really believed in the liberation of all Portuguese colonies as a whole. He was born in Guinea-Bissau. He received his education from the School of Agricultural University of Lisbon. I believe he got his PhD there. And along his way, he met a lot of very intellectual anti-colonialists who helped shape, his revolution. He, like we know, was successful in helping Guinea-Bissau gain its independence. He was part of a socialist party and was very influenced by Marxism, Leninism, and a lot of the things he spoke about. So a lot of the examples were talks he gave at the United Nations, or a talk he gave at a university, and it also gives some brief social structure of Guinea in general. I thought it was really interesting to read with an open mind and understand why political reform needed to happen in this country in order for it to be liberated from its colonizer. I think he does a really great job of expressing how socialism was. He's not really it's not that he's pushing socialism at you. I think he was very clear in that the socialism they adopted specifically for Guinea-Bissau was what was needed at the time. And I think I just thought that was really interesting, and the way that he spoke about how, no government is going to be good for every country. Every country needs to decide within itself. It needs to, it is up to the country itself to liberate itself, is a big part that he talked about. And it is also the people within the country who are able to speak to what the people need, right? The majority of the people. So, I found his theories very interesting. I thought this book was really well put together from his, different speeches. And I would recommend it if you're interested in socialist politics, or, anti-colonialism, even just to research something about Guinea-Bissau or parts of Africa that were colonized and then liberated. Now, on to the fun facts. So I came up with 6 of them. So let's go through them. Number 1 would be that Guinea-Bissau's archipelago consists of more than 90 islands, fostering a unique matriarchal system where women hold pivotal roles as judges, builders, economic leaders, and spiritual guides. And number 2 would be kind of a sadder one, but over 70% of the population lives on less than $2 a day, underscoring the pervasive poverty prevalent in the region. Number 3, Guinea-Bissau is renowned for its production of cashew nuts, mangoes, papayas, serving as an economic mainstay for its nation. Number 4, symbolism is deeply embedded in the national flag, with yellow symbolizing the northern savanna, green representing the southern forest, red signifying the struggle for independence, and the black star emblematic of the African populace. Number 5, in the Bijagos, one of Guinea-Bissau's islands, they have this tradition called vaca bruto, which kind of translates to raw or brute cow, but they also call it the bull mask if you want to look it up. It is a rite of passage where adolescent males embark on a transformative journey into adulthood. So they do this whole dance, and they put on this bull mask, and then after this, for several months, the adolescents get to live in the forest on their own. And through this, they undergo spiritual and physical trials that end up in them being recognized as an adult when they return to the community. And last but not least, an interesting part of Guinea-Bissau is that it is one of the few places in the world where saltwater hippos thrive, notably in the Orange Islands. Also in this Bijagos archipelago I talked about. Thank you so much for watching the video. I am super excited to continue to learn about different parts of the world. If you want to see what country I pick out next, you can feel free to follow me on my Instagram. It's @FindingFrania. Feel free to comment in the section if you learned anything interesting or if you have any questions that maybe I didn't address. And I'm always open to suggestions about different books to read. Thank you so much, and see you guys next Saturday.